Should you discipline someone else's child? That is the confronting question that has parents divided. New data today revealing that is more likely than you might think, with 48% of Aussies admitting they're comfortable telling off someone else's kid. So let's bring in news.com.au's editor Kerry Warren and parenting expert Dr. Rosina McAlpine. Good morning to you both. Kerry, we'll start with you because this was all part of news.com.au's great debate. Tell us what the data is telling you.
So to launch the Great Aussie Debate, we did a pulse survey of 2,000 people to kind of get a taster on where Australia was sitting on this issue. And we were really stunned to find that, as you said, 48% of people were completely happy disciplining someone else's child, which not what we expected to see.
No, and I also understand it's sort of that middle age group, people like me who have young children themselves, that are the most comfortable doing this.
Exactly. So that was a really standout thing. It's people aged 30 to 49 that are completely happy getting in and amongst it. They're more likely to be in the parenting trenches themselves, I guess, so it makes a bit more sense. Whereas younger people, I don't know if when I was under 30 I ever even encountered any children because I was at home in bed.
So what does it say about our attitudes to parenting?
I think what it says is when you are parenting young children of your own, you're very much more likely to know what is and isn't okay. Whereas I think if you're an older Australian, you're probably horrified by the behaviour of children, my children inclusive, but you're more likely not to want to get involved in that. You're more likely to step back, probably silently judge and then tell your friends about it at coffee.
Yeah, that's very true. Dr. Rosina, I feel like there's degrees here, right? Like, I feel like there's some circumstances where it's okay to get in and have a chat with someone else's child, and other circumstances where it's not. What do you think is the appropriate situation?
I think the most important thing is that we have to accept that as adults we are responsible for all children, whether we have children or we don't. If we see a child either going to harm themselves or harm another child, intervention is so important. Otherwise we could leave a child and they be in harm. So I think the circumstances are important. If it's a dangerous situation where we can quickly intervene versus if the parents are already there, they're already dealing with the situation, then I think it's back off time and just let the parent deal with their own child.
It also depends on the sort of discipline we're talking about, right? Like, you know, if I saw another child hitting my child, I might go up and say, hey, that's not the right way to behave, but I would never physically touch someone else's kid. Is that where the boundary lies?
I think the important thing is to define discipline, and what we know is if we look at the origin of the word discipline, when we go to Latin, it actually means to teach and to, you know, explain, educate, whereas when we look at the French, it means, you know, punishment and, you know, reprimand and that. So if we think of discipline, as we do, that it's just to try and help children be safe in the world, look after each other, then I think that's where, that's the kind of discipline that I think is more acceptable than reprimanding or judging some other child.
So, okay, let's give you a situation. You're in the park, two kids are at the top of the slippery dip and one's trying to push the other one. What is the best way to intervene in that scenario?
Again, I think the most important thing is if kids are in trouble, you need to keep them safe. So go straight up, hold them up, you know, move them apart, whatever it is, take one child down. I think no parent would, you know, have a trouble with the fact that you've gone in and intervened and saved that child from falling off the top or hurting another child. It's what happens next that's the really important part. And what is really helpful is to manage your own emotions. So we want it to be a win for the kid and a win for the parent that's intervening. So a simple 3-step process like stop, take a calm breath, empathise. Kids are kids, they're going to be pushing and shoving each other, and then the educate part, teach what's the right thing. So as you said, hey, we don't push, someone could fall off, be gentle, and where's your mum, where's your dad, you know, is a good question then to be able to bring the parents in as well.
And Kerry, it is again so interesting. I mean, I see this issue discussed on the Facebook parenting groups all the time. Everybody seems to have an opinion and nobody's opinion is the same.
No, it is like one of the issues that just every single time we write about it at news.com.au, the opinions are so wildly split. And I guess that's one of the great things about having these sorts of discussions, because you get to really get a sense of exactly what everyone feels on those hot button issues about what makes Australia tick.
Kerry and Dr. Rosanna, thank you so much for your time this morning. And you can have your say. Just visit news.com.au/The Great Aussie Debate. Clint.
Hey there, Today fans. Sarah and...
What's my name again?
Oh my God, Carl.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel, though. Subscribe now for more news, special reports and amazing Aussie stories.
And Carl misbehaving,
Whoa,
of course.
that never happens.
Always happens.
What's she talking about?
Always happens.